said too that the water tank, it's like a 12-foot climb.
Are you okay over there?
Every time somebody says water tank, I have like PTSD.
The water tank is like a 12-foot climb up to the top of it.
And that's not disrespectful. I really have that diagnosis. Thank you.
And they said the door is like weighted.
I didn't want somebody
they wouldn't have thought it would have been real easy for her because she was kind of a slight girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's a little bitty.
Yeah, they said it'd been almost impossible for her to have climbed up there and opened that lid, and the lid was shut behind her.
Mm-hmm. Right, she would have had to held it open while she got in.
Yeah, I mean that'd be pretty damn difficult for anybody.
Heavy, yeah.
Especially someone who's in the middle of some sort of fit or
not
trip or whatever. Whatever. Or being possessed. Whatever the fuck happened. So what are you finding out over there?
Just reading, they said she was naked in the water tank.
And afraid.
Her clothes were in the tank with her, though. They weren't found somewhere else.
Clothing similar to what she'd been wearing in the elevator was floating in the water, coated with a sand-like particulate.
Ooh.
What in the world?
Her watch and room key were found with her.
But, I mean, maybe, like, if she was thrown in there, clothed, or however she got in there, would you have, in panic, taken off your clothes to try to be more buoyant?
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know if I think that through in panic.
Well, based on the footage from the elevator, she clearly wasn't thinking right because her behavior was bizarre.
I mean, there are substances that will raise your body temperature. Maybe she took one of those and made her way somehow up to the roof and then was like, motherfucker, I'm still hot. There's a water tank. Let me jump in the water.
I mean, I can see if you're not, that whole chain of thought.
Yeah.
Okay, nobody puke on the mics or my new rug.
She's talking to you.
Her body was moderately decomposed and bloated. It was mostly greenish with some marbling evident on the abdomen and skin separation evident.
Okay, hold on. That's not funny. That was funny, though.
She's just trying to hold it back. She's not laughing at that.
No, God, I would never laugh. And again, side note, the PTSD joke is not improper. I have that diagnosis. Nobody get their panties in a wad.
It's all right. Nobody's going to get their panties in a wad.
Toxicology tests, incomplete because not enough of her blood was preserved, showed traces consistent with prescription medication found among her belongings, plus non-prescription medications such as Sinutab and ibuprofen. Very small quantity of alcohol, about 0.02, was present, but no other recreational drugs.
Huh.
Oh, my God. That's just horrible.
That is heinous.
I mean, as gross as it is, I'm just thinking about those poor family to find about this.
Okay, but
Jesus.
At the same time,
it
had been 2 weeks. So, did you test the water in the tank? Could evidence of drugs?
I don't know that
leached out.
No,
I think it would be so diluted.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I think it'd be so diluted that wouldn't be.
Take our focus away from the tank for a little while.
Okay, doors and stairs that access the hotel's roof are locked, with only staff having the passcodes and keys.
Okay.
And any attempt to force them would supposedly have triggered an alarm.
So that right there says that someone on the staff is complicit in her death.
You have to have a passcode or a key
that only the staff has.
Right. However, the hotel's fire escape could have allowed her to bypass those security measures if she or someone who might have accompanied her there had known.
So like if you're staff and you're saying, hey, baby, want to go see the water tanks with me?
You want to go up on the rooftop?
Yeah, maybe that would work. I don't know. That's weird. But, but like if
you... Hey, baby, want to see my water tank?
And that's what they call doing a brandy.
Yes, it is.
But
Amber does it too.
So yeah, I mean, I guess what they're saying is if staff person A knew about that, he'd have been like, if I want to get her up there, all I got to do is take it the sexy way, the back way, the fire escape.
Yeah.
That's not a euphemism.
So
you want to take her the back way.
The fire escape. Baby, I'm going to burn up your fire escape.
I'm burn that ass down. Just burn it down.
Unless she accidentally stumbled across
upon the fire escape,
someone else had to be involved.
Because it was another thing that they indicated that like you'd have to have inside knowledge as an employee, like
know how to access
to get to these places.
It reminds me of the girl in Chicago who was found in the freezer.
Yeah, that was
she was stumbling all across
was that
the
after
hotel.
this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes you want.
That was,
Okay,
what,
maybe I've just
it was
seen a lot of
last
Criminal
year?
Minds.
Yeah, that was well after.
Yeah, that was like 2 years.
Maybe
I
I've just watched a lot of Criminal Minds, but that's weird. I'm wondering if this is like an emerging pattern of things. That would be a real... I'm not going to say anything because I travel, and if this is a serial killer, you don't want me. I am such a bitch. I would scream and cry. You'd never get away with it.
Well, I mean,
I would have so much DNA under my nails.
I mean, to be fair, I mean,
Be like, no, we don't. We got his lower jaw.
We can clone this guy. It's cool.
We don't know. We don't need to match dental records. He's the motherfucker running around without a jaw. That
I'm
should
always
be easy
thinking
to
I would
find.
have my thumbs in this
And
guy's
their eyeballs.
Oh,
You
something.
See, don't fuck with us. We will take. Well, you might win, but
we watch too many killer shows.
yeah.
Be like, I thought you were supposed to be dead. No, I was the victim. The guy in pieces. He's who you're here to collect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you can be overpowered, but by God, I bet I could get at least one good swipe in with my nails or something. I may not be able to hurt you, but by God, I can make sure they get your ass for it.
That's something that's always bothered me about it's like psychological thriller movies. You know, these people they're running, and just constantly being chased. And then they get cornered, and pokey, they're dead.
Is that the noise it makes, or does the killer go?
No, the killer. He goes, pokey.
That would be the most Can you imagine?
Like Elmo.
I'm terrified, but Elmo, pokey. But you're ridiculous. But I'm afraid.
See,
ridiculous.
But you know,
like Chucky and Child's Play. Yeah.
There's only so much running I'm gonna do before I get mad.
I'm gonna turn and fight.
And it's like, okay, now it's my turn, and you may get me, you may take me down, but you're not gonna come out whole.
Yeah, I'm
gonna have a hold of all of your soft spots, and I'm gonna rip them off.
Mm-hmm.
So it says the autopsy report and its conclusions have also been questioned. For instance, it does not say what the results of the rape kit and fingernail kit
That
were.
was a question I wanted to know.
Or even if they were ever processed.
But again,
would they
floating
be able
in
to?
2 weeks worth of liquids, I just can't see. Let's not be gross. It would wash the
Well, I mean, I would think
away.
unless water's really moving, there would still
But
be
in a
stuff.
tank, it's gonna be moving.
Yeah.
Because it's a tank that drank.
Well, yeah,
That and the longer it's in there,
The more it's
2
going to
weeks,
degrade.
Well, everything going to soften. Everything's
Well, I mean,
going
you
to
got to think
soften.
about a rape
everything's
kit.
gonna,
That's all soft parts, and they're gonna get faster. And
But it also records subcutaneous pooling of blood in her anal area.
okay,
which-
so she was still pretty whole for them to get that.
yeah, which some observers suggest was a sign of sexual abuse. However, one pathologist has
Oh my
noted
God! Yeah, thank
it
you.
could also have resulted from bloating in the course of the body's decomposition, and her rectum was also prolapsed.
So
So that could be from.
Well, no, because
gas.
we have a friend that used to work in the crime lab, and they said that if somebody they was a drowned victim that was in water for a while, that happened a lot because the pressure would build up, so it would
Blow their asshole out.
Uh-huh.
That's so gross.
God, Chris.
I sounded so happy when I said that. That's not a happy thought.
What do you God Chris and me for?
We need a beep button.
Nah, that's the fun of us.
Okay.
What the hell? That's a job that I couldn't do. That I just clipped the shit out of that. That's a job I couldn't do. I could not work at the crime lab. Oh my God. No.
No. The smells alone.
So I think they're still saying it's accidental.
They are, but they really
But
have no
how in the
idea.
hell did she get in there accidentally?
Yeah.
Snuck up there, no alarms,
And Chris-
acting out of character.
And if you are
even before that night because of her roommate saying.
right, if you are either having an episode, but especially if you are having some sort of trip, sometimes you can get those adrenaline bursts of extreme strength. So while they're saying,
here's the thing with
I would think her parents. Okay, the roommates. Do you know how long before? Because I know she was there for a little while at the hotel.
No, they didn't say.
You would think if she was acting weird, her nightly telephone calls with her parents, they would have
picked up that if she was really
something's not quite right.
I'm
think about it.
telling
You
you,
can,
honestly,
as a parent, you can talk to Alexis, and you can know just from the tone of her voice if she's okay or not.
Right.
So I see what you're getting at.
But to close a case saying it was an accidental death, man, I would think that you would have to have a very, very clear.
Well, couldn't they just
understanding
leave it?
of
Couldn't they leave
exactly
it
what happened.
as unsolved. Yeah, I mean, because
but if it's unsolved, they have to keep working it.
Well, but I guess what I'm saying is, okay, if you don't 100% know it was death by misadventure, then I would think, okay, if you mark it as solved, accidental, then that just seems like the proof. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of close the door, like, for it ever being figured out. And
I know
don't her family deserve it?
I know the family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the
family
hotel.
has.
But the judge dismissed it
because there's lack of evidence.
Yeah, I mean,
that hurts.
Probably because the death was ruled accidental.
Yeah, right.
You know,
that's what I'm saying. So you can't say it was wrong.
And I mean, they don't have a history of people doing this. So I mean,
it'd be hard to say it was their fault.
Yeah.
And then they had safeguards in place to keep somebody from accidentally accessing it. So you wouldn't have much of a leg.
I don't think the hotel was at fault as an organization. They weren't negligent in their security or anything like that. That girl didn't do that shit by herself, though.
No,
you know?
I don't.
Or if she did, she was out of her head.
Yeah, and if that was the case, how did she get that way?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, being bipolar doesn't give you quadruple the strength. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
her cell phone was never found.
Oh, really? Now that's pretty telling to me. They found everything else.
Yeah, they said in the tank were her clothes, watch, and room key, but her cell phone was never found.
Okay, she's what? 22,
and the coroner
21?
listed her death as a drowning, so she was alive when she went
in the tank. It wasn't a body dump. So because she must have air in her lungs then. Okay, how old was this girl? 21, 22, something
21.
like that.
Early 20s, yeah.
21.
Okay.
21, yeah.
There's no fucking way a girl of that age
didn't have her
phone glued to her body. They found her key. They found everything else. Somebody's got that fucking phone.
Yep.
And there was something on that phone that they was afraid could never be erased that would implicate them in something bad.
Somebody sent her an unwanted wiener picture.
It could. I mean, really. She said she had a stalk, or there was talk about her having a stalker. Something digital was on that phone, and the person was smart enough to know that nothing's really ever unretrievable as long as it exists.
Okay, I don't know about bipolar medicine, but they said the most plausible explanation is that Lam had bipolar disorder, and according to her autopsy, had only taken her prescribed stimulant medications, but neither of her stabilizers. So I don't know if this is like
that's probably not good.
Yeah, I don't know anything about bipolar medicine.
The way that this. Because the hallmark of bipolarism is those wild swings, from manic and into depressive. And so the stabilizer, that's what centers that person and helps everything. There's still going to be fluctuation, but it helps control that wild back and forth.
It narrows
that margin. And so that's pretty telling. So if she was taking like her depressive medication to kind of keep her from going, but she wasn't taking her stabilizer, she could have had just a crazy manic episode that maybe only lasted 30 minutes.
Yeah, they said this may have led to a manic episode, which can cause some bipolar sufferers to experience hallucinations or psychosis.
I mean, if it's a wild...
The hallucinations would explain the way she was acting in the elevator.
Yeah, psychosis and then hallucinations, feeling like somebody was like, and that whole, you were with the hands waving and we're talking about, that hurts my heart. It sounds like she just...
So it very well could have been an accident.
But
there's still the
cell
roof.
Phone.
The cell phone, the roof, only having key, passcode access.
The cell phone is to me the most damning thing.
Yeah, because it wasn't in a room, none of her belongings.
Found, everything else was. Her watch even, and that's another thing that's always on your body. So I can't get past
and
that.
I know in
Not
the
with
elevator,
a girl that age.
Yeah.
In the elevator, I don't know if she had her phone. If she did, it had to be in her pocket.
Right, I don't remember.
Because her hands were open.
It in her hand. Yeah.
So I don't know if she had it earlier that night.
She was wearing a skirt.
Oh, I remember reading something saying she lost her phone. I
don't think it was lost. I think it was broken the night before.
Okay, because I do remember reading something. I don't think it was lost.
I think it was something was broken.
She might not have had it on her body, no, it was broken, although I still would, because there are things on there, like pictures that are so dear to me. But anyway, so she might have left it in her room, but that doesn't explain why it wasn't recovered when right.
Yeah.
That still goes to somebody was afraid of something on that phone, and maybe it was the stalker guy, and maybe it was a perfect storm. You know, she really was having a manic episode